¿Qué pasa, amigos? Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for tonight's show. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be flying from Seville or Sevilla or Sevilla. If we have any locals with us today, they can correct me. Service to Palma de Mallorca in Spain. And we're going to be doing so aboard the PMDG 737-800. Before we prep our aircraft for departure, I want to welcome all of you guys to this live stream. Matthew Johnson, Badger, welcome aboard, guys. Thank you very much for being here this evening. And we have with us also Ro Page, Ali Brahimi, welcome aboard, welcome. And we have also Vincent. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be taking a look at this rendition of Seville Airport by MK Studios before our departure. And, of course, it should be a nice flight into Palma de Mallorca. So a second flight here in Spain, but we're going to prep our aircraft first. We're going to do the payload and all that good stuff first. And we're going to summon GSX ground services also to get our passengers on board. Hola, my friend. Hello. Go Mail, how are you doing, my friend? Gmail, hello, how are you, my friend? Will Smith, good evening to you, my friend. Thank you very much for being here this evening. Glad to have you all, and I hope that you enjoy the show. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hop into the cockpit, and it just looks so good. I love the PMDG 737, and we're going to head over here to the overhead panel. We're going to turn our battery on. And we're also going to turn on the ground power unit. And now we have electrical power established to the aircraft. And everything is lighting up. Perfect. Let's come here to the FMC. And we're going to go to FS Actions. We're going to go to the fuel. And we're going to bring up our friendly SimToolkit Pro. Fly now. Operational flight plan. And we're going to scroll down. Make sure this is always on top so that doesn't go away. All right, and we're going to come down here to our flight plan, our payload information. Passengers today, 168, cargo 9.7, payload is 39.1, our fuel is 16.2, and by the way, you can either enter 16.2 or 16,200. 16.2 also works in exactly the same way, and it will calculate that automatically for you. And then we can go to the payload information, and we enter our payload, which is 131. So 131, 131 exactly. Okay, perfect. Let me put this away. And 131 is now set, and everything here is good. We can now start prepping the aircraft. So let's cancel that. And let's see here. We're going to go to the overhead panel. And first here, actually before we do that, let's perform the APU test, fire test here. Right, okay. All checks good. All right, and the cargo fire test as well. All checks okay. All right. Excellent. All the tests here check okay, and we can actually perform the TCAS test. We're going to put this on standby, and let's do that. All right, perfect. And now we can see the TCAS test being performed as well. It might give us a TCAS
test failed.
Yeah, failed. That's right. It will once we have alignment, it should work. So we'll do it later on. All right, let's go to the overhead panel, and we're gonna. Oh, let me put this away here. All right. So the Mach speed warning test 1 and 2, stall 1 and 2. They kind of take a little bit of time to come to life, and then we're gonna put the ADIRS on nav mode. Flaps check okay. We're gonna put this on. Let's see here. Position heading STS. There we go. Iris to, of course, time to alignment is 0 because I've set it to immediate. So we should be good there. All right, perfect. We're going to come down here and start programming the flight plan, but first we're going to call GSX and start boarding our passengers. All right, let's go ahead and say request boarding.
Boarding requested.
Excellent. And then we're going to come down here to the FMC, and we're going to go to position init. And let's see here. I think you guys can see it clearly now. All right, so we are at Lima Echo Zulu Lima, which is Seville in English, and I read that the pronunciation is either Sibila or Sevilla, which is what you would hear from the local Spanish people. But I guess you guys can
want to board crew?
Can confirm that. All right, let's go ahead and do both. We have Adam1740. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us from Sweden. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Rand Cooley, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for your support, Rand. Appreciate it. Do you have a preset? Preset for what? I'm sorry, I didn't quite get you there. All right, so we are going to go to enter our airport here, and then we're going to go to the next page, copy the GPS position, and paste it here. Excellent. We have immediate alignment, which is pretty cool. And then we're going to go to the origin airport. And today we're heading to Palma de Mallorca. So Lima Echo Papa Alpha. And we are Air Europa flight 5125, as you can see here. So we're going to put AEA 5125. AEA 5215. Excellent. That's our flight number today. Right, that is done. Then we're going to go to the departures. We are departing, let's see here. We are departing today runway 09er here through the Viva 3 Romeo departure. Viva 3 Romeo departure. And then we're going to go to the route. And I'm going to put this back here. And all right, we're going to the next page. And then we're going to fly direct to Rolas. Rolas. We'll take a look at the passengers in just a minute. Rolas, and then we're going to go to Uniform November 851. And then from this airway, we're going to exit at Roxit. Brilliant. And from Roxit, it's the arrival into Palma de Mallorca. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the departure and arrival. And we are going to select the star. So the star is the... Let's see here. The Rux to Papa. C2 Papa. That's the one there. The Rux to Papa. And we're going to select the ILS Yankee runway 24 left. Let's see if there is a transition. Let's see here. We go back to all the way to the end of the flight. MJV, which is this one, Mike Juliet Victor is our transition. And then we're going to go to the route, activate, and execute. Brilliant. We have our flight plan all programmed. Now we can go to the performance. So let's see here. All right, here we go. We're going to just click here for the zero fuel, and we can grab the reserves by adding the final reserves and the alternate. That should give us the final reserve that we enter here. So we have 3.4 and 2.3, 5.7. We're just going to say 6. And the cost index for our flight today is 65. Cost index is 65. And the final cruise altitude today is 34,000 feet. So we're going to enter that here, 34,000.
Your crew has boarded.
All right. Average wind 312, 56 knots, 312. And 56 knots. And the transition altitude is 6,000 feet. All right, 6,000 is set and execute. Perfect. Let's go to N1 limit. We're going to derate our takeoff, and then we're going to go to the takeoff page, and we're going to select flaps 5. Center of gravity is set to 19.9%, which gives us a final trim of 5.76 and a V1 of 139, V rotate of 140, and V2 of 148. Brilliant. Everything is set up here. Excellent. And we also can hit the B button, the B magic button, to set the altimeter. GSX preset. Yes, I do have the preset. Is it Eric? I'm not sure. It's 3 Rick. I suppose it's Eric. But yeah, I do have the preset. Ryan, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Which GSX preset you have? It's the one that if you on the flightsim.to, you'll find it. Just type in LEZL GSX and you should get the preset. It's the one for the MK Studios scenery. Will Smith, welcome at Chicago Skyhawk. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. Thank you very much for joining, my friend. All right. So everything is set over here, and we can put this away now. And we're going to go ahead and turn on the APU. You can see the passengers are boarding now the aircraft. All right, let's come here and start the APU. All right, APU starting, and then we can go to the emergency lights and continue with the window heat is on. Hydraulics are on, packs on auto, and we're going to set the altitude pressure to 34,000 feet, which is good. All right, position lights are already on steady, and we can see the APU now, AGT rising, and yeah, our passengers are boarding. Everything's looking good, and we're going to turn on the fasten seatbelt and non-smoking signs on. Excellent. And now we have the APU. Right, we're going to turn off the engine bleeds. APU is coming on. APU bleed is now on, and we're now supplying conditioned air to the cabin. Perfect. All right. More passengers are boarding. All right. So what we're going to do now, folks, is we are going to take a look at this airport by MK Studios. And I actually like this airport a lot. For one, it's quite detailed. It's a small airport. But as you can see here, a very nice rendition of those custom buildings. As you can see, the apron here and the airport clutter is done quite well by MK Studios. Very sharp and very nice textures there all over. Let's slow down a little bit here. All right, let's see. All right, I think that's good. All right, I think you guys can now see. Again, you can see all the roads leading to the main terminal. You can see the air conditioning duct there. Quite detailed airport and done quite nicely. Again, the vegetation, custom vegetation, again, to match the real airport. You can see also the main terminal here. We're going to go down here and act as if we're going into the terminal. And I think if you go down, I think this is I think there's a drop-off area here. No, it must be somewhere here. Maybe it's not modeled there, but if you go to the interior of the airport, is actually modeled. So we're going to go to, I'm not sure which building was modeled. Is it this one or is it that one? I think it's let's see. It's the other building there. Yeah. Let's go there. And all right, here we go. So here, if you go to this building, this is the main terminal. You'll see that it's modeled. Again, nothing animated, but still very nice texturing overall in the main terminal here to kind of give it, you know, a realistic ambience. Here you can see the passengers waiting, and we can see the passengers now. Look at how cool is that? Look at all the passengers boarding the aircraft here. Looks pretty cool. Speed check. Welcome aboard, my friend. We have you with us from the Senegal. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard, and thank you for your membership here at the channel. I appreciate your support, sir. All right. Here we can see the passengers again, very nicely done. Optimized for performance. Again, nothing too serious on performance. Nice terminal modeling. And then if we go to the rest of the airport, you can see the parking lot area is modeled to the parking. As the multi-story parking is modeled quite nicely as well. And I'm not sure why we have trees coming from the parking area like that. Maybe that's how it is in real life. I don't know. But if we have anyone with us from Spain, and Benny is a member coming up with 17 months of membership at the Q8 Pilot channel. Benny, thank you very much for your continued support and loyalty. Again, very nice modeling of all the roads leading to the airport. The vicinity of the airport, again, looks very good. So this is the outer area. Again, you can see here, very nice modeling by MK Studios. They're definitely getting a lot better with every scenery they release. And this is, of course, looking very, very good. I do like it a lot. I do like this airport. And I do like flying in Spain. And back to our aircraft here, we can see that the passengers are still boarding the aircraft. And thankfully from both doors. Very, very nice. And I highly recommend, if you want to get this MK Studios scenery, of course, you can always get the link by typing !DEP, that's Delta Echo Papa, for departure, and you'll get the link to the scenery. I highly recommend that you also obtain the GSX preset or profile from flightsim.to. Which will give you, they've modeled, the passengers coming into the aircraft and all that good stuff. So really worth it. If you get this airport, that you also get the GSX profile. And I love those presets where you can see the passengers just walking to the aircraft coming from the airport terminal. It looks pretty cool. All right, I think that's the last set of passengers there boarding the aircraft. So we are getting pretty much ready here, ready to go. So we're going to turn on the fuel pumps, and everything else here looks good to me. Excellent. We're going to set our altitude to our final cruise altitude, which is 34,000 feet. Right, 34,000. Flight directors can go on. Excellent. And the runway heading, this one is 148 V2. 148 is set. Excellent. We're going to come back here to the other FMC. And we're going to go to return, FMC. We're going to set this on climb. And we're going to set the auto brake to rejected takeoff. And we are now just waiting for the last passengers to board the aircraft. And we'll be on our way, ladies and gentlemen. Carlitos, hello, my friend. Wow, this is amazing. Where do I get that mod for the people getting on the plane? That would be GSX. So if you get GSX Pro for Microsoft Flight Simulator, it has that functionality. But you just have to make sure you can, by the way, create your custom preset. I've shown this in... I don't think I've shown you how to do the passengers, but I've shown you how to customize the position. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on that, but there is a very good tutorial on how to do this by Flight Sim Deck, beg your pardon, Flight Sim Deck. He's done a wonderful tutorial, a very short one. You can look him up and go and see his tutorial. All right, so now if we do the test, if we do the TCAS test, it should be okay. And we should give us Pack. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Right, so that is...
TCAS test pass.
All right, so now TCAS test pass, of course, since we have the alignment, so it will work fine. All right, so the aircraft is equipped with a heads-up display as well, and we are now ready to turn on our anti-collision lights, and we're going to push out of our position. As you can see, we are going to push the nose to the left. All right, let's go to GSX. And by the way, I have the most recent update. There was an update early this morning, which mainly addresses the AnyBuilds A310. So prepare for pushback and departure. And now we have the ground crew approaching the aircraft here to lock the pins and push out of our position. Excellent.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
All right. All right, she's going to take care of us. Thank you very much for your service. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely you need the sunglasses. It's quite sunny here in Spain this morning, or this afternoon, actually. It's, by the way, that we're flying in real weather, but not in real time, as it is pitch dark right now, I think, in Spain. All right, we're going to set our TCAS to TARA. All right, there we go. And everything is looking good. Perfect. I have noticed a little bit of screen tearing, and I found that if you set VSync to fast, it takes care of the tearing. But I didn't want to risk it today and get you guys on a jittery stream. So I want to test that while streaming first, test that setting while streaming. So I'll probably create a private stream, check it out myself, and then it should get rid of the tearing, which happens normally because of the synthetic frames. So nose to the left, tail to the right, and it wants us to dismiss the GPU. So we're going to come back here to the ground services, and we're going to release the ground power and remove the chocks. All right, and looks like we have a clearance to start our engines. We are going to come here to the overhead panel, turn the left pack off, and we're going to go to the ground here, turn it to the on position, and now we can see the engines are spooling. Excellent. All right. 20%. Fuel is coming up. Listen to those engine sounds, guys. Absolutely brilliant. F7 over the top. Welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel. Thank you for your subscription, sir. Those sounds are just absolutely amazing. Right, we have a good start on the engine number 2. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. And we can come here, we can turn this one here. Isolation valve is closed. All right. And we can turn engine bleed 2 on. All right, we're coming up to about 20. Fuel is coming up. Perfect.
Please set parking brake.
All right, let's set the parking brake.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of GSX.
Cockpit to
Confirm.
ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
We hope you to make some files from Africa, my country, the first captain. Speed check. I've done a very few flights in Africa, so you are very right in that I haven't really done much in Africa. That is my bad. I need to do more in the beautiful African continent. So I promise you that my next Microsoft, well, not next, but the one after next, is going to be in Africa. All right. We have a good start on both engines. We're going to turn the gens on and engine selectors to continuous. We're going to come over here and turn on the probe heat. I'm not sure why it's not yellow.
Contract is
Should be yellow.
Bypass filter.
Packs can go to auto, isolation valve to auto, and the bleeds are on. APU bleed is off, and we can now turn off the APU. We're going to turn on the runway turn-off lights and taxi lights, and we are now ready to go. We're just going to wait for the signal here from the ground crew, and we'll be on our way to Palma de Mallorca. Very nice ground markings as well here at this rendition of Seville Airport by MK Studios. Right. Left is clear, right is clear, and we are good to go. Let's wait for the hand signal. There we go. That's the hand signal. Thank you very much for your service. And we are now ready to go. All right. Let's set our flaps. Flaps are set, and I believe our trim was 5.27. Let's come back here. FMC. If we go to the takeoff, 5.76. I think that's about right. Set this to climb, and we are good to go. Let's release the parking brake. Parking brakes are released, and we're good to go. All right, let's give it some power. Cape Town. All right, we'll do that. Cape Town next time. Or maybe we'll do Senegal first, and then we'll do Cape Town. All right, we're taxiing now to runway 09er here at. I wonder how is it actually pronounced by the Spanish people? Is it Sibila or Sibia? All right, here's our turn. Absolutely brilliant airport by MK Studios. They have quite a bit of airports in Spain. And here's the turn. All right, let's take a look at some wing views there. Look at that, guys. I love the wing views on the PMDG. Looks fantastic. Sevilla, Palma de Mallorca. Sevilla. Oh, is it Sevilla? Sevilla. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Pampa Borg. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I like to pronounce, the city's names correctly. That's one thing. I have a very big interest in linguistics. I read a lot about the, by the way, the LAD, Language Acquisition Device Theory, by one of the world's most renowned linguists, Noam Chomsky. And it's just amazing to read about the Language Acquisition Device Theory. Anything to do with linguistics just really catches my interest. So yeah. All right, we're going to go all the way to the end of the taxiway, and in the meantime, as we go, we're going to arm the auto throttle, and cabin crew are notified. Cabin crew seats for takeoff, please. All right. We could have gone here, but that's okay. That's the hold short. There's 2 hold short points, runway 09er. Right, let's go ahead and start the clock. And we're going to turn on our landing lights, strobe lights, wing lights. Everything else is set and ready for departure. All right, here we go. Little bumpy there before we enter the runway. And ladies and gentlemen, we are at runway 09er and cleared for takeoff. Winds are calm. Right, we're going to take the throttle to about 40%. Engines are stable. And toga. Nice custom runway textures as well by MK Studios.
80 knots.
Check.
V1.
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gears going up. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful departure. Let's not get too carried away with the nose pitch there. Right, looking good. And VNAV. Right, continue our climb. 2,300 and LNAV. And Command A engaged. We can put the landing gear in the off position now. Speed check, flaps up. Beautiful terrain in Spain. No, with us. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. And Row Page. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Beautiful volumetric lights. You have got to admire this wing view from the 737. Back in the cockpit, we continue our climb. We are at 250 knots, 4,800. 6,000 is the transition altitude. We can disarm the auto brake now. Flaps are up, and we can put the engine start to the off position. Right, 6,000. Let's go to standard. Standard barrow is set on both sides. And we can set barrow reference. Let me see here. It's already set to standard here, so we're good. And we continue now our climb to 34,000 feet. We can actually leave the landing lights. We're going to turn off the runway turn-off lights, taxi lights, and the wing lights. We're just going to leave the landing lights until we pass 10,000 feet. Here's a look at the outside. Again, beautiful, beautiful terrain over Spanish territory. And by the way, we are running Microsoft Flight Simulator at maximum settings. So all the sliders are completely maxed out. Right, we're approaching 10,000 feet. And we can now kill the lights. Right, lights are off. And all aircraft systems are operational per design intent. Here's 10,000 feet. About 5 minutes since departure. Our flight is approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes today. Any builds are coming up with brand new add-ons for Microsoft Flight Simulator. A new airliner is coming pretty soon. And there is a war aircraft as well as Detroit Airport, which is based on the trailer that I've seen, is just absolutely gorgeous. And you can see the progress of any builds. By the way, the official Q8 pilot channel partners, we can really see the progress from, you know, the beginning. I believe they've done a couple of islands. I think Alderny Island or Shoreham Airport were one of the very first sceneries for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and those were okay. They were not spectacular, but then, you know, they started really creating some fine scenery, starting with London Heathrow, any scene London Heathrow, and then Ibiza, Los Angeles, San Antonio. Los Angeles was, I thought that was it. And I'm just stunned at the level of detail that they have in Detroit rendition by any scene. It's just absolutely gorgeous airport. And can't wait to showcase it here on the channel for you guys. All right, everything's looking good. We're going to bring up the terrain map here since, well, the weather doesn't really work on the PMDG. I like Noam Chomsky and Stefan Creation, two very useful info for language learning. Absolutely. John Jacob, hello my friend, NZQ, and that would be Queenstown in New Zealand, isn't it? Yeah, well, we'll do a flight there for sure. New Zealand is a beautiful country to fly over, and I think anywhere in New Zealand is just really breathtaking. The terrain in New Zealand is very nice, and I think I've done a flight from Wellington to Auckland. There are two very excellent airports by Flightbeam Studios, and if you are interested in flying in New Zealand, I highly recommend those two. There's also, by the way, in any scene, Queenstown, I believe. I'm not sure if it's I got it from the AnyBuild store. I'm not sure if it was by Any Scene or someone else, but it actually is a very good scenery. AnyBuild did, and yeah, that's right. That's what I thought, John. I thought that they've done it, and yeah, it is actually a very nice rendition of the airport. Beautiful country to fly in and out of. So, yeah. I definitely will schedule those streams in due course. But of course, as you guys know, I'm also MK Studios is also an official partner of the Q8 Pilot channel, and so I think it was the scenery was released a few days ago. Unfortunately, I had other things scheduled, and I couldn't really showcase it to you guys. So I thought today was a good day to showcase it, and there isn't really the Palma de Mallorca is just an absolutely gorgeous island to visit, and I thought that this would be a really cool route for us to fly today. So I looked it up, and luckily enough, there is a real-world route, which is the Air Europa flight 5125, which we're flying today, which actually flies from Seville to or Sevilla, that flies from Sevilla to Palma de Mallorca. So So I picked the flight, and here we are flying it with you guys. Very realistic. I have been to NZQN many times. Yeah, it is. They are really good. These guys at any build, they're just fantastic. Here is a wing view for you guys. We can notice also the wing flex there. Beautiful terrain in Spain. I just absolutely adore the terrain over in Spain. Two countries I really like to look at the terrain from top. One is Spain, and the other one is the Netherlands. Just from above the aircraft, it just looks spectacular. The approaches, I love the approach into London Heathrow. Just spectacular approach always. All right, here's actually a look at the exterior view. There are a few scattered clouds in the vicinity. Nothing too, nothing too much. It's okay. Calm weather today in Spain, but just look at how lovely the terrain throughout the route into our destination. And just running Microsoft Flight Simulator at maximum settings really brings the beauty of the sim. And yeah, here, look at that. Perfect. All right, so we continue our climb. Everything is looking in tip-top shape. Kenny Myers, greetings, my friend. Happy Tuesday to you, my friend, and welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. David White, hello, my friend. Good morning. Glad to have you with us, and I'm glad I'm flying your favorite bird. In fact, what I'm going to do, guys, just for kind of letting you guys know what I'm planning to do, I am planning to stream every other day. So tomorrow is Wednesday, so I'm going to stream again on Thursday, and on Thursday we are going to be flying Qatar Airways, the Airbus A310 service from Kuwait International, Kuwait pilots' hometown, to Qatar, where the World Cup is happening, and we're going to take a look at an excellent two freeware sceneries. One is of Kuwait International and City, and the other one is the recently updated Hamad International Airport, or New Doha International Airport, which is, again, I think they're doing a very good job with that airport. It's really starting to look very, very nice. They've added some very nice features, especially the fountains at the beginning of the airport, or the beginning of the runway on the cargo side. So again, available both at the flightsim.to, but we're going to be flying the INI builds, of course, the updated version. And yeah, we'll take it for a short flight from Kuwait to Qatar. It should be about 45 minutes to about 1 hour or so. But it should be a fun flight to do to the host of the World Cup. Are you guys enjoying the World Cup? Are your favorite teams winning? It's been there has been some really interesting games. I really liked the one. What was Cameroon and, or was it Senegal? The match that ended 3-2. I can't remember who it was, but it was a fun match to watch without a doubt. Michael John, hello, my friend. Evening to you, sir. I have come from Vienna on this very aircraft type today. Amazing how identical the sounds are on those CFM56, and also the climb performance of the real jet is pretty swift. You're very lucky, Michael, that you've been on the aircraft just this morning. And yeah, PMDG really excels in creating very high. Let me just take the sun. The reflection there is just killing me. I think any builds or PMDG is just really the cream of the crop when it comes to the development of add-ons. And I'll tell you guys, based on what I've seen on the INI builds and the development of the company, I don't think they're far behind, to be very honest. And when it comes to study level, INI builds create study level simulation. And again, their focus is always on quality rather than quantity. And we've seen very few aircraft from them, a few sceneries, and they're definitely getting a lot better with every scenery they release. But if we look at the history of the add-on release, they've had the A300, then of course the variants of the A300. Then they released the Beluga, and after the Beluga came the A310, and those were all for X-Plane 11. Now they did announce that they are going to bring the A300 to X-Plane 12, and that remains to be, of course, no announcement yet of when is that going to happen. But yeah, they've made that announcement. So I don't like soccer, Alex. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us, and thank you very much for being here and for your support, my friend. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Yeah, I used to be a big soccer fan back in the days, and I'm not so much of a soccer fan now. I just watch the highlights, to be honest. I don't even have the subscription, but I like to watch the highlights, and yeah, it's a big event without a doubt. Let's take a look here at the external view again, just to admire the beautiful mountainous terrain here in Spain as we make it towards our destination, and just really fantastic looking scene here, as you can see. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That's the top of climb. Also in Netherlands and Belgium, after the winning of Morocco, Moroccan people made a mess of the big cities here. Oh really? Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Yeah, I've seen celebrations like that, Alex, and I just don't get it. You know, when you're happy, even when you're not, I mean, even when you're unhappy, you have got to be civil about it. And I just don't understand some of the behaviors. I remember in one of the matches here in Kuwait, so we have two very competitive teams in Kuwait, and after the match, you know, you'd see all the, you know, the losing team would like break the chairs, and you know, I don't get it. It's like, why? You know, why are you mad at the world? It's just a game, you know. But some people are, you know, they can get very agitated, I guess. And Morgus One, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for your continued membership here and support for the channel. Appreciate it. Yeah, this football fan. Captain Squiddy, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening aboard this flight. Service to Palma de Mallorca in Spain. And we're almost now at our cruise altitude, which is 34,000 feet. And everything is looking good. Looks like we have some clouds en route. And let's go ahead, guys, and check the weather at Palma de Mallorca, our destination here. Transition is 6, we're landing runway 24 left, beg your pardon. Silence frequency. All right, let's check the weather here. The weather is 273 knots, so winds are calm. Few clouds at 3,000. Current temperature is 14 Celsius. And the QNH 1016, no significant change in the next couple of hours. So we are good. U3000, yeah, I think the weather is pretty cool over at our destination. Few clouds, but you know, nothing too serious. Some football fans are crazy, and it's everywhere, especially big teams. Yeah. I mean, I think we've seen some crazy things happen. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look here at some wing views. Look at that. You have got to admire the level of detail, both on the aircraft and the sim. I downloaded today the 747-200 Classic by Felis. And hopefully we'll do a flight. The next X-Plane stream will be on that aircraft. I definitely need to brush up because I forgot. It's a very complex aircraft, study level, really. One of the one of the best 747 simulations that I've seen. I've watched videos of that aircraft in real life, and I tell you, they really nailed the cockpit. I mean, it looks very, very close to the real thing. Some very nice terrain here over Spain. Look at that, beautiful. Hello, Captain. Thinking of turning on that simulator for a GA in Italy. Italy is a beautiful country to fly over. I love Italy. I really like Italy. I've been to Italy a couple of times, and I love everything about Italy. The weather is quite hot in the summer, so if you plan on going there, the best time of the year to go to Italy is around the end of September, beginning of October. The weather becomes really, really nice, and I love the fact that they have those restaurants in those glass cabins all over the place, and you just walk in and they have some succulent food. I really love Italy. The Italian people are extremely friendly, and I really enjoyed myself there a lot in Italy. It was a lot of fun. Guys, look at this scene here out of the cockpit window. That's just amazing. Look at that. Beautiful. So yeah, I really enjoyed my time in Italy, and I stayed at the Villa Medici. The Medici family is a very well-known family in Italy. I remember was it in Florence? In Florence, I stayed at the Villa Medici, and apparently the hotel that we stayed at was actually the palace of the Medici family, and of course, generation after generation, they decided to turn it into a hotel. So when you actually walk there, you'll see some really beautiful gardens, and the layout. You can tell that this has been, like a home that's been transformed into a hotel. But yeah, it's a lovely place. And then I believe the Ambasciatori also is one of the good hotels in Rome. I can't remember where I stayed in Venice or Sicily. I can't remember. Padova. We went there for just a short hop in Padova. We didn't really stay that long. It was a day trip, and all of Italy is so nice. And normally when I'm in Europe, I like to use the train to commute between cities. The taxi is just too, you miss on the scenery. So yeah, normally I like to take the trains. Graphics are bad. Pack, which graphics are bad? Graphics are pretty good. At least on the stream they are. Hello there. Does MSFS work with an RTX 3060 Ti with a 2600 CPU? I wish I could answer you there, Captain Den. I don't know. I'm sure it will work. I'm just not sure how good it's going to look. Good flight, Commander. Passing by to leave a like. I'm from Brazil. Well, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. And Helicoptero Virtual. Welcome, my friend. Very thankful for your visit, and thank you for visiting. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your like. And well, hopefully we'll see you more on more streams in the future. It will work for 1440p. Yeah, it should. Yeah, it should. Thanks, Rand. So Randy is probably someone who has got similar specs and can confirm that to you. I just hate to say something I don't know, so when I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. But yeah, thanks very much, Rand. Appreciate it. We continue now our flight to our destination, Palma de Mallorca. And if we look here at the FMC, let's see here. Why is it not going? All right, here we go. Just simply not going. All right, that's what we'll do. Not sure why it's not wanting to zoom. Doesn't want to zoom. All right, finally. All right, let's take a look here. All right, so once we're here, since we are here, we're going to go ahead and set things up. We are 180 nautical miles from top of descent. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to the approach, and we have the ILS frequency set to, what is it, 109.3. So let's go ahead and do that. 109.3 right here. All right, 109.3 and transfer, and 109.3 on this side as well, and transfer. And we're going to take a note of the approach course, which is 237 degrees, and we're going to set that on both the first officer and captain sides. 237. Right, 237 is set here, and 237 will be set here. I got carried away there. All right, 237. All right, 237 is set on both sides. Excellent. And we're going to look here, 30, 148, so 153. So 30, flaps 30, and 153. All right, we were going to add that here. Perfect. And one more thing we're going to do is we are going to go to our flight plan real quick, and we're going to go scroll down all the way to the end to RW24 left. Okay. Then we're going to go to the fix. We're going to enter that here, RW24 left, and we're going to enter that fix, and then we are going to create a let's see, why is it showing this? Let's see, 10 nautical mile radius here. All right, and that will just help us for situational awareness. And now if we go to our flight, similar to what we've done with the Airbus in our flight the day before yesterday, and now you can see that we have this is a 20 nautical mile ring. It's the radius is 10, so 20 is the total. And this is our approach. If we go here, all right, so now you can see the approach better here. So we're going to go out of our 10 nautical mile ring and make the turn to intercept the localizer for the runway 24 left at Palma de Mallorca. It looks like this is we're going to come over the seaside and make the turn, you know, from the other side of the airport, which is cool. Yeah. All right, so we'll go back to the FMC. We'll switch this back to map and put this back on 80 nautical miles for the range. Everything else is looking in good shape, and we're going to come back here and put this on climb. Let's see here, climb. We're on cruise. All right, so here 156 nautical miles. All right, so we are all configured now and ready for our approach. And here's a look at the outside, folks. Just really brilliant. The PMDG 737-800. Here's a look, top-down view as we make our way into our destination. Just lovely. All right, we're looking good, and we just now have to reset the MCP altitude right about 30 nautical miles before the top descent, and the aircraft will begin the automatic descent. Right. For 4K, it might be a bit tough. Yeah, I would say that it would be tough. Have you retired to do flight sim? Do you still fly in the real world as well? I haven't retired from doing flight simulation. No, I'm still here pretty much with you guys right now, Captain Dan. And I do not fly in the real world. I do it very seldom. And I'm not a real world pilot, obviously. And thanks, Fran, for the explanation there. But I do fly in the real world every chance I get, especially when I'm vacationing in the UK. I normally charter one of those GA aircraft and go flying, of course, accompanied with an instructor. But yeah, the last time I was in Elstree, I did pretty much everything from, you know, the takeoff, the landing. The instructor was pretty cool, and you know, he just allowed me to fly the aircraft. We had to be very careful with our altitude. And we had to keep watching for traffic, because Elstree, once you fly, the airspace that you fly in is kind of boxed in between Gatwick and Heathrow. And we were actually able to see a lot of the EasyJet flights going in and out of London Heathrow. And on the turn back, we started seeing the aircraft, you know, heading in, or you know, departing Gatwick. So it was a little bit, you know, we were restricted in where we can go, but nonetheless, it was just one hell of an experience. It was a Piper 28 that I flew last in Elstree, which was incredible fun. And if you ever get the chance to, just even if you can just fly with an instructor, the minute the wheels or the gear lifts off the ground, you get just this, you know, satisfaction from being up in the air. You literally feel like a free bird when you're up in the air. Just make sure that you pick a pleasant day to fly. I mean, weather-wise, because it can get really hot in those small planes. So yeah, pick a nice day to fly, and you will thoroughly enjoy it. How many frames were you having in Seville? I have the same card as you, but with an i9 190K, I get about 50 FPS. Well, I was getting about 95 to 100 in Seville, in our departure airport. So yeah, I was getting about 100. I'm not sure what I'm getting now. We can bring up the counter here. Yeah, I'm still maintaining about 99. You can see here the count. I'm not sure if while I'm on stream this actually shows, but we're getting about between 99. I get the same at the airport, nothing less than that. In some very involved sceneries, then it kind of goes down to the 70s, or depending on the aircraft. But the PMDG is a very optimized aircraft, and mind you, I'm running at full settings, so I have all my sliders maximized. Even the level, the terrain level detail is set to 400. So yeah, and it's a 4K monitor, obviously. So I think I am very happy overall with the ZOTAC RTX 4090. I think, in my view, it delivers on exactly what it promises. And performance-wise, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I've seen since the beginning of the flight, there has been no stuttering, no jitters. It's just silk smooth. And yeah, I think the card definitely delivers on the promise. We have Joe Nevis. Welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel. Thanks for appreciate it. Appreciate your subscription to the channel. And yeah, we are, ladies and gentlemen, now 110 nautical miles, so we're almost there now. If we look actually here now, we can see the ocean right there, which is again an indication that we're getting pretty close to once we're off this side, here. We're actually pretty close to our destination now, but that's fantastic. Look at the beautiful terrain there. I do have flight control replay running today, so hopefully we'll remember to. I have it. Where is it? That's FSLTL. Where is our guy? Ah, there we go. FCR flight control replay. So hopefully I'll remember to record the approach and landing so that we can replay it. And here's some wing views for you guys as well. Brilliant. I've noticed, by the way, folks, one of the things I have been taking notice of is the fact that there is a lot. See, the Q8 Pilot channel was founded on X-Plane tutorials initially, and I was exclusively doing X-Plane. I did a little bit of, P3D. I showcased, Aerofly FS, but for the most part, I used to do X-Plane tutorials, and I'm still very fond of Laminar's X-Plane 12. So I noticed that when I stream X-Plane content, there's a lot more viewership. I think the channel subscribers are still pretty much X-Planers, and that explains a lot more interest in X-Plane. The other reason is when I go and look at all the content creators today, at least the ones that I watch, such as Into the Blue Simulations, SimHanger, V1, Flight Deck System is slightly, he tries as much as he can to strike the balance between the two. But most recently, all of these content creators have pretty much moved exclusively onto the Microsoft platform. For example, Shane, my good friend Shane, or Oz Flight Simmer, has he actually does not do anything but Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I think for this reason, X-Plane, people are flight simmers in general wants to see X-Plane 12, and I think that explains why a lot more people are interested in my X-Plane content, because there's just so much content on the Microsoft platform. Yeah, Rand. I mean, you and I, we go back a long way, my friend. I remember you were a sub. I think when I had maybe 500 subscribers. So you've been with me throughout the journey, and I know that you're an X-Plane guy. I am an X-Plane guy. I remain to be extremely fond of Laminar's research flight simulator, and I still believe, by the way, and I will tell you guys this, I enjoy both sims, but I enjoy X-Plane more so than I enjoy Microsoft Flight Simulator, despite the fact that Microsoft Flight Sim has beautiful scenery, very realistic, and definitely we have now some excellent add-ons such as PMDG, the Phoenix. We have an A380 coming to the platform, which is free. We have the AnyBuilds A310, which is free. The fly-by-wire Airbus A32NX, again free of charge, and those are really some fantastic add-ons. Of course, not to mention the beautiful GAs that we have from, such as the 414 Chancellor, the SWS, Kodiak, and many others, the Pipers, the Just Flight Piper, Arrow, and the family of the Pipers. But I still find flying in X-Plane to be a lot more fulfilling, and just at least based on my experience flying in the real world, it does give me that feel, more so than Microsoft Flight Simulator, to be honest. That is my absolute honest view of, from my perspective. I do like a lot also the philosophy of laminar research. Maybe it's a niche simulator. Maybe they focus more on getting things to behave like it does in the real world, and that is something commendable, and it's not easy to do as well. Just using you know, of course there are a lot of shortcomings in X-Plane 12, and there are shortcomings in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but both sims are great. Definitely I enjoy both of them, and again here just look at those beautiful sky colors and just how everything looks in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Just looks fantastic. But I think, by the way, X-Plane 12, again with orthos and some, you know, nice airports, is not too far behind in terms of the fidelity. Once you have the orthos, you know, it looks fantastic now with the volumetric clouds. They do need to work on the clouds. It's still early access, but generally speaking, it's a very robust platform for aviation, for aviation enthusiasts. And yeah, I do like X-Plane a lot, I have to say. Captain, does the PMDG 777-200, 300, and the 747-400 and 800 official for MSFS 2020? Well, I do know for a fact that the PMDG 777 and the 747 will be brought to Microsoft Flight Simulator according to PMDG, but I'm not sure when. I don't have any dates on those, but yeah, they did announce that they were going to bring those aircraft to the platform. We are now getting close to top of descent. As you can see, guys, we are 52 nautical miles from top of descent. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go down here, and we're going to take a look at the initial approach altitude. Looks like 2,500 feet is the initial approach altitude at Palma de Mallorca. So we're going to go ahead and set that here to 2,500 feet in preparation for our descent. Right, 2,500 is now set, and everything else looking good. It's kind of starting to get a little bit dark here, so I'm going to bring up the background lights here for the panel, and we're going to turn on the main panel lights as well, so we can see things a little better. Excellent. And over to the overhead panel, and by the way, we never released our passengers, so at least let them have some fun during the last few minutes before descent. And we're going to bring up the panel lights for the overhead panel as well, and the circuit breakers. Alright, perfect. Everything's looking good now. And while we're at it, actually, why don't we come here and turn the panel lights here. Yeah, and a little bit of floodlight here. Excellent. Alright, so we are now all configured and ready for descent. So it's going to be 24,000 to 2,500. We're getting now close to our destination. How much FPS do you have actually? Well, I think I've showed you guys I was getting about 100 FPS right now. When I fly, by the way, GA aircraft goes all the way to about 148, 150 is the 153 is the highest number I've seen in the sim. I was flying the default Asobo Bonanza from I can't recall, where was it? LaGuardia. So I was flying from LaGuardia, and this test gave me the highest number of FPS in the Bonanza by Asobo. And 153 FPS was the highest number of frames I clocked. And I tell you, it's just butter smooth. It's very, very smooth. Yeah, there is some tearing that I've noticed, and this normally happens from the generated frames, the synthetic frames. Turning VSync to fast gets rid of most of the tearing. It's still there, but it gets rid of most of it. But I just didn't want to risk it during this stream, and turn it on, because I've had in the past when I turn VSync on, whether from the NVIDIA control panel or in-game, the Streamlab OBS starts jittering and stuttering and doing all sorts of weird things during a broadcast. So of course we don't want that, do we? Let's see here. Austin seems to be working more on funny videos for their YouTube channel. Or on the ATC system. Yeah. I mean, look, I personally, I like some of those videos. Some of them I don't like. The ones that Laminar has put on their official YouTube channel. See, for me, for the longest time creating content, I like to always get to the point. And I don't want this, like, especially if I want to, do a tutorial or I want to explain something to you guys, then just get to the point. I try as much as possible not to repeat also, because I do have a tendency to repeat myself sometimes, and I've noticed this in some of my videos. And then I started doing a quality check on two things. So normally it's a lot of effort to put a video out, because I subject them to two quality control checks. One is for the editing, so I make sure the transitions are smooth. The title, for example, is in the safe area of the screen, and I do consider that I am recording now in 4K, so I consider those with smaller screens and how it would look on their screen. So all of these tests, I do, and then I do a quality check on actually what I am saying. And there were many occasions where, I find myself actually, I said, oh, but I did say that, so I probably need to cut this part out. But it would be an important part, because I was actually performing things during that period of time where I was, repeating something. So it becomes very difficult to sometimes cut these parts out, because the message, the overall message, wouldn't be delivered. So it's hard work, I'll tell you guys, and that's why a lot of the streamers that you see today do not create videos. Most of them just do streams, and they go on the stream, they do whatever, they get whatever, as many people as possible on the stream, and then that's it. Because making videos is a very laborious task. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. I know in the last video that I put up on Navigraph, the audio quality, for example, wasn't good. Good evening, Yuki Sim. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Are you on 4K? Yes, I am on 4K. Okay, so here's the River 30. So I am on a 4K display. So what I see on the screen is 4K. But I scale it down from Streamlabs OBS to you guys to 1080p. My bandwidth here in Kuwait is not sufficient to stream to you guys 4K content, so I am forced to. We have begun, by the way, the descent now, the automatic descent into our destination. So I don't have sufficient bandwidth to stream in 4K. So I am on a 4K display, but I downscale it to 1080p for streaming. Yeah, I do agree with you there, and a lot of people don't understand how much work goes into making videos. It is a very laborious task, and I've seen actually some content creators with some excellent videos. The Flight Deck Sim is one that I like. I really like to watch his videos. He's he does have his way. I like his way. He's very calm in his presentations. So I do like to watch his videos. His editing skills are quite advanced as well. So it's a lot of fun watching him. And when I see one of those content creators creating videos, putting videos out, I just I sit there and I say, I can imagine how much time he's put in. There is also a site. It's called, what is it called? Green Dot Aviation, or Green Dot Aviation, I think. He's so there is the flight channel. The flight channel does documentaries that are silent. There is only text, and he goes through you know, like accidents, aviation accidents, and this new guy, Green Dot Aviation, does exactly the same. He's not as good in terms of the video editing, but his narrative style is brilliant. And the way he explains things is very informational, very informative. So I really like the channel. I think you guys, if you search for Green Dot Aviation, I believe is the name of the channel, I think you will really enjoy it. It's a documentary style, again, of aviation accidents. So like airline crash investigation sort of thing. We have Marcelo, Ashley, always watch your streams and videos, love it. Kuwait is hot. I was there for 56 days. I'm still learning before I start streaming. Well, Marcelo, thank you very much for your kind words. I appreciate it, my friend. That's very kind of you. And if you're ever back in Kuwait, be sure to let me know so that I can show you around and treat you to some excellent and succulent Kuwaiti food. Yeah. J. Raw, beautiful sky in Spain. Do you recommend FS Realistic? Absolutely. I absolutely recommend FS Realistic. It's a brilliant add-on. And yeah, I think FS is missing something without FS Realistic. I simply love it. It receives my highest commendations. FS Realistic is top-notch quality add-on. In my view, it is absolutely worth the investment. So go ahead and grab it. If you're considering it, you're on the fence, you're not really sure, just go and get it. You will enjoy it. I promise you that. Especially, by the way, for GA aircraft. It's just brilliant. Right, we're looking good here. Altitude 23 for 2500. Let's take a look at the outside real quick here. Look at those beautiful sky colors there as we make our way into our destination. Few scattered clouds, by the way, in the vicinity. It looks like we're going to arrive. It's going to be slightly dark, but the weather is pretty calm, looking pretty good. Good thing we brought the lights in the cockpit. Yeah, I plan on, by the way, making some more videos. So I'm going to alternate just in terms of the content of the channel, streams and videos. I think that strikes a good balance between the two. I started creating shorts. I don't know what you guys think. If you like those shorts that I'm doing, normally of a landing. I did a few on while my PC was being built as well. I don't know how much you guys enjoy them, but if you like shorts, I'll continue to do them. And the votes now for the stream content is now exclusive for the channel members only. So I will no longer post votes for on the public community tab, but the voting for content on the channel is going to be exclusive for members. Occasionally I might do it for everyone, but mainly it's a members only feature. Alright, we're looking good. We continue our descent towards our destination, and everything is looking pretty good to me. 18,000. The transition altitude is 6,000 here in Palma de Mallorca. So everything here is looking good. Next page. No, that's not what I want to do. Where's the descent? There we go. Alright, everything's looking good here. If we look, A24, right? Everything's looking good. Yeah. And by the way, it's got the hold page and everything, so you can enter your holds and everything in the PMDG, which is pretty cool. Alright, we're looking pretty good, and we're getting pretty close to our destination now. So what I'm going to do is let's reset. Barrel reference is now set, and what I'm going to do now, folks, is you can see here the speed. We should start reducing our speed. So what I'm going to do is I am going to... we need to start deceleration pretty soon. We're just going to give it a little while here, 250. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to vertical speed. Alright, let's go to vertical speed. Vertical speed. Alright, and I'm going to reduce our speed to about 230 knots. Alright, let's go 230. Alright, perfect. And we're going to extend the speed brakes a little bit here to help us reduce our speed. Alright, perfect. That's our 10 nautical mile ring. Look at that. Look at that approach. Just looks fantastic. And by the way, guys, I'm not going to use the heads-up display today. I think we are getting... yeah, I think we can reduce this to 2,000 feet per minute for now. Still looking good. See, when you see this little diamond moving up, it means that you're too low for the current sector, which we are, by approximately 1,000 feet. But yeah, 3,000, there is restriction at 5, a restriction at... yeah, I think we're fine. I think we're okay. We're just going to continue to reduce our speed as we approach the airport. Sure, it's good. Thank you very much, Rand. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. A lung transplant and won't be able to travel back to the Middle East. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I wish you well, my friend. Kevin Thomas, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard, and thanks for being here. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you very much, and thank you for your support, being a loyal member here at the Q8 Pilot channel. I appreciate it. Right, we're approaching 10,000 feet, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce our rate of descent to 1,000 feet per minute now, just so that we can reduce our speed to 250 knots, which is the maximum allowed speed below 10,000 feet. We're approaching 10,000, so we're going to go ahead and turn on our landing lights, runway turn off lights, and our wing lights, and we are going to also turn on the fasten seat belt and non-smoking signs as well in preparation for landing. FMC message, what does he want? Unable to 50 knots at MJV. Alright, let's take a look at MJV here, which is the transition into the star. Where is MJ? Oh, that's the one here. Alright, so that's fine. I mean, that's okay. We'll just leave it there. We're going to go to 230 knots. And we'll take notice of our final approach speed, which is 153 and flaps 30. So we're doing all right. 900,000, and we can reduce our rate. Well, actually, let's just leave it. We can disengage the speed brakes, and now we continue our descent. Look at the beautiful approach here ahead of us. We can see all the lights at Palma de Mallorca, and very few clouds in the vicinity. And we are now almost there. We need to be mindful of the mountains there. We're looking good. Excellent. We continue to descend at 1,000 feet per minute. We are currently at 230 knots. All is looking perfect. By the way, our destination airport today, Palma de Mallorca, is the rendition of the airport is by Just Flight in-house team. It's a reasonable rendition of the airport. It's not, in my view, an airport that is a high fidelity airport. It's very accurate, I will tell you that. It is extremely accurate in terms of the placement of the buildings, the stand positions, and all of that good stuff. They've done a very good job with that. But the overall, I think the actual structures inside is just kind of, I don't know. We'll see it now. We'll take a look. I didn't particularly like the night lighting either. So while the airport was provided to me courtesy of Just Flight, it is not an airport that I personally would recommend to you guys. It's not a very well done airport, in my view. So yeah, so it's not one that I recommend. But again, you guys will be able to judge that for yourselves as soon as we arrive, and you'll be able to make your own judgment. By the way, the airport is right there to our left. As you can see here, we approach the airport from the right, and we're going to make a left turn here at the end to intercept the localizer. We're still looking good, descending at 1,000 feet per minute. We can actually reduce it a little bit. So 3,000 out of 2,500 here. So we're still doing okay. And we're going to start reducing our speed to 220 knots. Just look at that, guys. I think I haven't done that many flights at night, but the night lighting in Microsoft Flight Simulator is actually very nice. And here you go. We can see it here as we approach the land, and the airport is to our left. Just look at that. Look at that beautiful scene here. Wow, this looks absolutely spectacular. Those volumetric lights, they're kind of too bright, don't you think? Here's a nice wing view of our approach. Just look at that, guys. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. All right. We're almost there. 4,700. We're looking good. And 240, we're still doing okay. I'll just leave the speed as it is for now, as we continue our descent. TS Aviation, hello my friend, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. And you're just in time for our landing into Palma de Mallorca. We're looking good. Just look at that, guys. What a beautiful sight of this beautiful Spanish island. Right, we're looking good in terms of the altitude. We can reduce our rate of descent just a little bit to maybe 800 feet per minute. That will also help us reduce our speed to 220 knots. Wow, look at that. What beautiful scenery. Just absolutely gorgeous. Right, we can reduce this down to 500 feet per minute. And we're going to maintain 2500 until established. We have a restriction here above 3000 in 0.9 nautical miles, and then the next restriction is 2500. So we're within the restrictions there for our flight. Here's the turn. Excellent. And we're going to slow down to 205 knots. That is just a spectacular looking scene out of the cockpit window. Here, let's switch to external view real quick. The night lighting in Microsoft Flight Simulator is just gorgeous. And here's our turn. Alright, and at this point, guys, we're going to go to FCR. And we're going to say record. It's going to prompt us for a file name. So we're going to call it PMDG 738 and enter. And I hope it's recording. It did not pause this time. So hopefully it's doing what it's supposed to do. It says recording. Okay, perfect. We're going to remove this. Right, and focus on our approach, and hopefully everything is being recorded. Right, and at this point we are going to start slowing down the aircraft to 170 knots. 170 knots is now clocked in. We are 2500, and approach is now activated. Speed check. Flaps 5. Right, we can see the glide slope diamond here. We're going to maintain flaps 5, 170 knots until established. Right, let's set the auto brake to number 2 and arm the speed brake. Speed brake is now armed, and we are clear to land. Runway 24 left here at Palma de Mallorca. All is looking good. That's the airport and the runway. This is our runway 24 left. Here goes our turn. Excellent. Looking good. That's the 10 nautical mile ring that we've created. So after this ring, after we pass this dotted ring, the green ring here, will be about 10 nautical miles to the runway. Single channel, localizer captured. I'll change the time for you guys once we land so that you can see the airport more clearly. Alright, that's the runway ahead of us now. You can see the glide slope needle started moving. Excellent. Right, and here's the all right, we're gonna go ahead and select flaps 15 And we're going to reduce our speed to 160 knots and select gear down. Just look at that, guys. Beautiful, beautiful sight as we come into land. All right, see here, a little more background, a little more lights here. Excellent. We are on the glide slope, on the localizer. And clear to land. All right, we're going to go 153 is our final speed. So speed check, flaps 25. Looking good. Right, let's reduce the speed to 153 knots, which is our final approach speed. 153 knots is set. Speed check. Flaps 30. Right, well, let's get ready to turn off, disconnect the autopilot. So I'm just going to wait here for 1,000. I think that's close enough. Autopilot is disengaged. And all right, it doesn't want to. All right, we're just gonna disengage the auto throttle like so. And my aircraft, a little bit of wind here, nothing too serious. We're a bit off the localizer. So we're going to make small changes here to correct that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Palma de Mallorca. Right, reverser's manual braking, and we are at our destination, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Rand. Yeah, it was a pretty cool landing, I think. And we can pick any of these available gates there, and then we can go back and do the replay of our landing. Maybe I'll change the time a little bit so you guys can see better. Let's find a spot here and bring the aircraft to a complete stop. Auto brake, and let's see here. All right, we can disengage that. I'll leave the flaps for the replay. But was a really a fun approach and landing into Palma de Mallorca, without a doubt. Thank you very much, Raytac 23. Thank you very much. Hey, David. Having a fun watching your stream while doing some VATS and flying on my own. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that you've enjoyed the stream. All right, we can... I'll leave the landing lights as well on so that we can do the replay. I just really love the fact that everything is so smooth. And you know, after with the new build, it's just really it changes my entire experience with the Microsoft Flight Simulator. All right, here we go. Can bring the aircraft to a stop here, and what we'll do is we'll do the replay, and then we'll take a look at the airport. But you can already see some of the jagged lines here, and anyway, that's all right. Let's set the parking brake right here. All right. And now we're going to go to FCR again, and we're going to say stop. So now it stopped the recording. We're going to load, and we're going to load our 747738 PMDG. I think it wrote this in Arabic. All right, that's all right. Connected, loaded. Can we play it now? All right, I think we can play it. All right, so let's click play. All right, here we go. That's the aircraft. Let's put this away. And here we go. Let's actually go ahead and change the time. It takes a little bit of time to load. So here's what we'll do. We'll change the time a little bit here. All right, there we go. And here is the replay of our landing. There we go. Where is the runway? The runway must be there. Look at that view. I think we're too... let me do this. Yeah, that's better. Play. All right, here we go. And guys, just look at this view here as we came into land at our destination. Look at that, just what a beautiful looking view. Takes a little bit of time to load everything again, but just look at that, beautiful. Oops. There we go. Oh, I know what's happening. Oh, that's my bad. Alright, let's do this one more time, guys. Let's do... Alright, I'm going to forward this all the way here. Where are we now? Alright, here we go. Play. Alright. There we go. I think I need to change the flight control replay mappings. The buttons I use are mapped to the rewind, forward, and all that. So that's why, you know, it was changing the... I always learn a lot from your streaming. Thank you. Well, Saad, thank you very much. Saad Al-Hnadi. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it, Saad. Welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you very much for being here. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, Air Europa Flight 5125 landing at Palma de Mallorca in Spain. And let's just leave it here and enjoy the landing. Maybe we'll do a wing view later on. But this is actually spectacular. Very, very nice indeed. I wish you guys could actually see it on my 4K widescreen, because it looks completely different. All right, here we go. Let's leave it there. Whoa, very nice indeed. Love it. I love Flight Control Replay, and I love Microsoft Flight Simulator. That looks very, very nice. Reversers, all the animations are now supported in this version of Flight Control Replay, which is version 5. Yeah, it works really well with the Phoenix and the PMDG 737. That looked pretty nice, I must say. All right, here's we're gonna do one more replay, maybe from right here. We're gonna say play, and this time we're gonna do a wing view. We put this away. Maybe we'll do. Let's see here. All right, this one. All right, just look at that, guys. Just really gorgeous. And here's the touchdown. Spoilers deployed. There you have it. Yeah. Well, folks, this is the airport. I'm going to. You know what? Let me set the. We'll wait for the aircraft to land, to park at the gate again, and then I'm going to take. We're going to take a look together at the airport, just so that you get a feel for. Actually, we can do it now. We can do this now, and yeah, I just want to close this flight control replay, and we're just going to set the parking brake and make the aircraft stop. Ah, it's working in the background. Alright, let me just come here and stop it. Alright, here we go. So the aircraft stops. Alright, so let me just show you guys this airport. I think this is the first time that I actually fly to this airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, the airport itself, in terms of the structures, I think are very good. And by the way, this is by Just Flight in-house team. And are you using FS Realistic? Yes, David, I am using FS Realistic. So I think they've done a very good job in terms of creating the structures in the airport. Again, very detailed in terms of the structure. This is what you'd see based on the real-world footage that I've seen. I haven't been to this airport, but somehow something about this airport doesn't look right to me. It looks a bit cartoonish. Maybe it's the colors, maybe it's the textures, I don't know. But some things don't look as realistic as I would like them to. This is the main terminal, for example, and it's pretty decent. It's pretty nice, you know. It's probably an airport that is a 7 out of 10 from my perspective. If I were to actually review this airport, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10. Just I think the textures are not the highest resolution possible here, as you can see here, and that probably adds to what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think the resolution could use some work without a doubt. Overall, a very nice airport. The layout is spot on, by the way, by the rendition by Just Flight. Really very, very detailed in terms of what you see in terms of the structures, placement of the trees, the placement of the gates. Everything is in the right place. I just would have loved to see a little more fidelity in the textures used at this airport. Again, not bad. I mean, it's okay, but it could use some little more love, I think, to make it even better. The ground markings are, by the way, spot on again, according to the real-world footage that I've seen of the airport and the airport charts that I've interrogated before this flight. Again, the entire airport, all the structures are modeled, quite nicely done, but not the highest fidelity in my view. 7 out of 10 for this airport. And by the way, the MK Studios gets 7.5. That would be my rating of the airport, a 7.5 out of 10. Again, some structures look really good, some structures not so good. This one here, I do like the PBR, use of PBR here. And nice rendition of Palma de Mallorca right there. Yeah, there you have it. That's the destination airport for our flight today, Air Europa Flight 5125. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this stream as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you, and I hope that I was able to give you a good show. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.